Are you wanting to grow more things but you don't have any more space? Well, I highly recommend looking into vertical gardening, also known as trellising. Some things like these peas here, as you can see, they will just hold on, grab on to anything that you put behind them, and they can grow up these themselves. Sometimes they need a little bit of help. You just kind of got to tuck them back. They like to grow vertically along things. Now, if we go over here to our tomatoes, they do not climb. They naturally want to fall over or grow along the ground. So what we have to do is once these get big enough is I'll have to go ahead and attach them. And as they grow, keep attached to them, usually every 6 inches to a foot, with either you can use some sort of rope, or they have a lot of garden ties and things made specifically for that. These little guys here are cucamelons, and they're very small, but they will eventually reach here and grow all the way up, all on their own. And now I've also planted back here are some melons, and they are going to need some help as they grow, especially once the fruit gets really big. You can kind of put it in a hammock or a sling so it doesn't weigh it all down. When it comes to trellising and vertical gardening, there are so many different things you can use. There's things you can buy. There's also so many do-it-yourself things out there. A lot of it's just going to depend on your budget, how much you have to spend, as well as how handy you are or somebody in your family. I'm very lucky to have a very handy husband who has lots of skills. These are one of my favorite trellises he's made. They're just basically a really heavy gauged wire, and he's actually welded them onto frames. And that's what I had all up behind those tomatoes and peas, as well as a couple here, and they work really, really well. We've also gone as simple as just these frames and then taking some rope across, and then as things grow, you can just tie a string to the rope and then to the plant, and usually it'll just wrap up it, or you can kind of wrap it along as it grows. Here is another little trellis that I have planted pole beans down below, and they are going to grow all the way up very happily. They tend to just kind of wrap themselves up and around, which will be nice. And you can see behind here, this is what we're calling our circle of tomatoes. And it is just actually, it's a trampoline frame turned upside down, wrapped with some wire. And these tomatoes are going to grow all around in a circle. And again, they will have to be tied up as they grow. Here's another repurposed trampoline frame with a few extra additions. And with these ones, what we've done is just strung a wire all the way along the bottom. And then we're going to put another wire couple up because they're getting ready to be trellised more. It's kind of like a play off the California weave where you can weave them back and forth. And then as they grow, we'll just keep putting wires across to attach them to. One of the really popular do-it-yourselfs is the cattle panel trellises with the T-posts. Unfortunately, up here in Canada where I am, the cheapest I have found a cattle panel is like $90. So it's just a little bit out of our budget, especially when we have all these other things. What we end up using a lot is this fencing roll, and it's not as sturdy as the cattle panels. But what my husband's done is he's used some rebar and just wrapped the ends and then used some sort of anchor. So he has this stuff here attached to the log, but any sort of something pulled tight and then attached, kind of like you do for a tent, to pull the ends down and tight, keeps that a lot more secure. And these are actually a really cheap and easy way. We grow peas up here every year and it works super well. This was the original kind of edge or fence to our garden. It's just a chain link fence, but the grapevine has grown up it. It has really done well. It loves to just climb, 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 and just grabs on tight and keeps going. I have a little bit of morning glory here as well, which just loves to wrap itself around things. So I hope this gave you some inspiration and ideas on how you can utilize more space in your garden by growing vertically. Remember, if you are going to be putting more stuff in, it might require a little bit more nutrients in your soil, as well as a little more frequent watering, but it's a great way to really utilize all that space that you have. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.